you have, I think, given voice and given, I don't want to say purpose, because obviously no one who has lost a loved one in a mass shooting wants their purpose to be about the single most heinous day of their lives. But the truth is, many of them do give of themselves and do turn their grief into action. We last talked, Shannon, when there was some real notable progress, but here we are again. And then what are your thoughts on a day like today?
Well, you're exactly right. Survivors who wake up and do this work inspire me. They are heroic. And I, wept yesterday for the people in that community in Illinois who were supposed to be celebrating freedom. And I think we should reflect on, what does that even mean? Freedom for who? Freedom for the 7 people and dozens more who were either killed or wounded at a parade? Freedom for who? For the 3 people and 7 more who were killed or wounded in Gary, Indiana, which is just 60 minutes away from Highland Park? Freedom for who? The police officers who were shot while hundreds fled because gunfire rang out in Philadelphia? Between July 2nd and July 4th, there were at least 430 shootings across the country. There were at least 167 people killed, hundreds more wounded. This is the reflection of who we are right now as a nation. We are not safe anywhere. And it is just so important to remember that we have the power to stop this. And that comes by out-organizing and out-working and out-voting these radical extremists who have been writing our gun laws. This is the logical but horrific outcome of allowing gun lobbyists to write our gun laws.
Claire, it is sort of this pit in the bottom of your stomach that, to love and celebrate our country on the 4th of July was for many mixed with grief and horror and fear about the direction Republicans seem to want to take us, either through their nominees on the Supreme Court and overturning a constitutional right that women have enjoyed for 50 years, or this extreme, what Shannon's talking about, these extreme policies on access to weapons of war. What were you feeling yesterday, Claire?
Well, it is really hard to kind of grapple with the notion that we've gotten to the point that 40,000 people die every year that never make a headline, Nicole. We're not talking about the young lives that were lost in Kansas City today, or the lives that were lost in Gary, Indiana, or in Chicago, or New York, or Philadelphia, or Boston, or small communities across this country where a young child gets a hold of a gun that has not been stored safely. Our love affair with guns has turned into a massive cause of death in this country. And I understand that it is kind of bred into our culture in some ways, this love affair of guns. But, somebody on Twitter today had a sarcastic tweet that I thought was pretty clever. He said, a well-regulated militia went to the top of a building in a small community and took aim at strollers and lawn chairs and massacred a lot of people, and the mindless thoughts and prayers were the only thing that came in afterwards. And I do think that phrase, a well-regulated militia, is forgotten by Republicans and not embraced enough by Democrats. We can do something about this. And Shannon's right. It's about using your voice at the ballot box to get rid of people who think we have to have high-capacity magazines available to young men who are searching for some kind of fame in all the worst ways you can possibly imagine.